Yamagomo High All Sport GHL YouTube Nyamiadoma Sanso New and of course this is usual back to back latest balls updates so let's have a conversation stories they be brave since Manchester City game no so we Charlie and good performance from Manchester City. Me who be actually for a while now. I've not been seeing City play this well. Of course, Juventus funny did not give City a fight, but City for now ball. Jeremy Doku, man of the match, had a solid goal, and then Rodri started for Manchester City. Not Juve for no Pedro. If they had had a draw, and of course, in car. Or more qualify and I say on first to group. They must say Manchester City were 9, Juventus nya 6, Al Ain nya 3. Oh, Charlie with that club Casablanca. What's just that? How many points? So City qualifies, of course. And then City 4 they played very well. And then Rodri, just like I told you, started the game later on. After 66 minutes, now coach had to take him off. Haaland came from the bench to score 5 goals to 2. It is a good result. City for share Jeremy Doku passer it's no read man on a solid pass. Control or ball ni share and check and Ederson call passable the ama Bernardo Silva and Bonne Ebukadi Kumain is Wakuman as say. Then City scored a beautiful goal. Matthias Union free or cross ya Kalulu and so Claiborne won a bond carbon in a bone. Then second half Haaland scored again. Manchester City it was that good. Matthias Union here cross now Uja for Cabo no Eddie simple. Phil Foden came from the bench, scored in the 69th minutes. Savinho wonderful goal on the right, solid. And Vlahovic last minute of so 5 goals to 2. A good result at Manchester City. I say, Omoka said we buy for stories. What I say, Bernardo Silva said, Rodri or Bonaba saying, "Nothing or Babe can Rodri carry and what Rodri can do." I say, hopefully, Adia or no, or should say, Rodri will stay fit because once Rodri is fit, I bet Manchester City ye pass. He say, Capito. Ono na kasade Manchester City ye bibia they say we have fulfill of Manchester City but say this probably is the best performance of Manchester City Adenedi in this tournament also on the last time Cross City enya such a good performance almost so yeah well there's a report from Italy that okay say best story be Atlanta for goalkeeper Kanaseshi Man U for Airpen now there's a report from Italy say United for are willing to pay 34 million for this goalkeeper. 34 million. Well, that's the reports coming from it. We authenticate it because we know the interest, the Manchester United interest. But as to whether they are willing to pay 34 million, which is like 34 million pounds a year, 40 million euros. So whether they will be able to do that in the year, but it is what it is. And again, one issue in contention at the Nico Williams conversation, and of course the Nico Williams conversation Dawson. Catch us let's go Bilbao for the Kwakusia La Liga for no nothing. Raise concerns at the Barcelona for Barcelona phone complaints and then Bilbao for the release statement at the Abbas with regard to Barcelona Tata Nico Williams and the meeting they had with La Liga. So this is the official statement from Atletico Bilbao. In Spanish. My translating, this is the English version. So let's read. Okay, so the club appreciates the willingness and clarity of the organization that defends the interest of all clubs. Within the framework of financial fair play, among other issues, FC Barcelona's ability to recruit players was discussed. Atletico Club, and as Athletic Club, would like to thank La Liga, the football professional, for the willingness and clarity shown at the meeting held yesterday between the two entities, which was attended by the presidents of both organizations, Javier Tebas and Juan Urruti. The meeting was held in Madrid in response to a request from Atletico Bilbao or Atletico Club made within the framework of compliance with financial fair play. Among the topics discussed was FC Barcelona's ability to sign players, giving Athletic Club's legitimate interest in assessing the relevant information after FC Barcelona sporting director Anderson Luis de Souza Deco publicly acknowledged that they will try to sign a player from our first team. This player has a contract with Atletico Bilbao until June 30th, 2027. Minding our own business means ensuring that the rules of the competitions are followed. Anderson Luis de Souza Deco statements are to the public statement made by the FC Barcelona president Juan Laporta himself, admitting that Blaugrana club is working within the 1:1 rule, and that therefore it is not currently within the parameters of the said rule for registering players. We appreciate La Liga's complete willingness and clarity in its qualified response, and we affirm that Athletic Club would defend its interests to the fullest extent in compliance with financial fair play regulations approved by each and every one of the professional clubs that make up La Liga. Okay, so this is the statement from Atletico Bilbao, and again, we a direct translation. Me here ain't say, only say brought funny be ANC so then you pardon, because direct translation say when him say you will not get it 100%, but at least I will give you a fair idea about how the statements went. So basically, Atletico Bilbao for say acknowledge the fact say ko share La Liga for ni tie asupemu na it was a meeting dey frey na Tebas was here na president enso so e was here na ochiremu say no ade ba ko a wan say wo de kwa wo sporting director at the club no o kan wa bontin wan fo bu anfa kan wa bontin say Momo Barcelona no more work say wo betimi assign Atletico Bilbao for the player almost also playing our contract until 30th of June 2027. Into your 1 year pa. And now say, minding our own business means ensuring the rules of the competitions are followed. Again, the reason why I'm start statement initially I want to say, Laporta can't say, Atletico Bilbao for no buying your business. So much munya the omu team wasem. No munya is Barcelona and 7 on peso moka. And almost also say, minding our own business means to say we need to ensure say rules and regulations are followed due. Inti Bilbao for say who de ko be kan sa no o president so e be kan say Barcelona for are working within perimeters so metimi are hitting the 1:1. In top person say Laporta Becker say Barcelona are working to get to 1:1, and I just say Barcelona no you are not even there. Into now any coin bands no before so sika o betimi a top player now registered, because if your president publicly admit to the fact to say you won't me reche sa 1:1 no bukonye sika no wahin. Enti almost say omo appreciate La Liga for say La Liga for eti omusu eti omu bibia na eja omo hwe say La Liga for the proper response. And so Eddie Pepro, we see Bilbao for the statements about we're expecting San Kebia Barcelona for no to make a statement with regards to what Bilbao for no actually the about Barcelona might say so dragging this whole issue. Oh my ding come na maye and one no just go and pay the money. Now fee choker and also too much. Idea as a bank credit. Well, yeah, Kamal Dean Sulemana, everything is done. Omutia again Atlanta for 17.5 million euros. Add-ons so 4 million euros add-ons. And now after so Southampton at the 15% sell-on clause at the Ashim. Said actually okwa Atlanta na oyade no okwa club fufura. Almost Southampton for the 15%. Kamal Dean ever signed 4 years plus 1 year add-on. One additional year at the account. And he say Kamal Dean to Atlanta. Done. Southampton for no announce because transfer for so almost 7 million. Some kofa omo player Paul on wacho into transfer for so 8 year 7 million. The amount money to say dem kofoi kakra beba omo ho pe. Share Barcelona Negrega case no yenya wie. ni nyina ne say Manchester Judge for no atonsa e de afre Juan Laporta, Luis Enrique why adwuma Barcelona pain and next to Valverde yes sir minipa miensen omo as a witness to the Negra case sa Negra case no inti nipa miensa Laporta Luis Enrique and next to Valverde omo serve as witnesses inti semrenuju now Luis Enrique bia you are indisposed or something else of course they are going to call you via phone inti Negra case no yenye Christian investigations ni guso a amatwere krata de ama panyefo mi ensen say master momra na mo be chechire mu nsem me no ka say Ansu Fati fly akọ Monaco akọ medicals na me no ka sisi kra popo be ye ne de was I say Pobo starts in the first part of the medicals Ansu Fati na mwie mom no ono so ko no was akọ ye medicals and so e de ama tima me fe Monaco into Drew Airport no and for you now on also at that television also come well let's move on Tarek George a player at Chelsea or say what say several times say na among for Chelsea fans need the ato you must say obobo no di need to you say nyama timi as a goosebump timi good or say na ye no was na miampa say den ye mi akoda hit kitina Chelsea for ato me nyum no say no say David be to the bia na ye no won yi pa. And Obi-san say, how is it like to play for Chelsea? Say, oh, say, akwara no nya boni be more. Yet is a Chelsea for so control left winger Eddie Aba. It's how do you feel as a young player in amidst this whole story? And also say, oh, Chelsea, Obi a person bobo ni bi. But Obi a person bobo ni bi no. As I say, United, as I say, Chelsea a football club a very very competitive. It's already on the competition or who ye pa. Chelsea eto a left winger, but no problem be no be fighting for the position. And why some Tarek George and so and some risk say or no expect to say Leon Delap ni adaptation with Chelsea mono a be shot to cry and say Leon Delap any more Chelsea force so coach no and some of the players any Leon Delap inti or say problem be anywhere and tia see ho and change on no crady or expect to say ni adaptation and be very very quick now for Bibi aso so dan Newcastle for a trade that Joey San say now say mo make yiska 120 million pounds for 3 players. Anthony Elanga mabeka no wasam say Nottingham for so move Newcastle kra. James Trafford Burnley for no almost someone Tom Newcastle. Joao Pedro Brighton for so 23 players in Newcastle estimate say 120 there. On the first 30 place, but it looks like Baku Crane you are alpha. Eddie Ama Newcastle, see Newcastle for no, or more brepa papa, and yes, and kids are Bali for someone Tom James Trafford in Farm Momo. Now we can make a Bali no. Omafa a Azal Twazembi. It's out Twazembi, South kind of former Manchester United for defender. Or a free agent, they say Bali for so afana. Now, Mayoka for trade the Ama Barcelona for say. And I don't play a Barcelona ko fan na nzenya Ronnie Bajini from Copenhagen. Mayoka for some open loan. Barcelona for say boy yakure o mani bobo ni bi. Enti mama boy na on building who was Spanish La Liga the winter no open loan. Ti minim say Barcelona for beti ase there. Enti Ronnie Bajini of course a loan offer. CCA abeto Barcelona for tables so say Mayoka for many abri o pe Pablo Torres sanso pe Banji aka ho what there was a story ramping up say Chelsea for enya a bid around 35 million pounds omo beton Josh a champion Matse from Chelsea corridors so say omo nyoma dwen so mo ton Josh a champion into those stories in the Phantom Chase say Josh a champion no omo hu say or part of the Chelsea a team that they are building into they will not sell. Marcos Alonso, former Chelsea left wing back, he posted a picture at the Abana. Oh, here picture now. Or that one. When you book knocking kind book walking kind the inside story of the sale of Chelsea. Abramovich book now say air babo and saying Ujafu. Or King kind the Maya Abramovich eject Chelsea. Now no so moving on no. Hey, Eddie. Sabuk wedi say me pay mankind be kra me hontom ai asabo melos kekes wa be ni bibia wie ko wo hu na onim de say ujafo asanso akona eso oye party nwumre ya nti o start ewia no mu obibi na one the guys ye party ahwade e na balloons na wo ho no Liverpool balloons into team say Ujafu. We feel ya man say Liverpool no wa signing there. Ni aja. Nti ho balloons na no so e wo ho no. New York Red Bulls e wo USA. Oma chere e de Abraximo Vena so master wo be ba nan brand yanko. Isa say master what way bo be na wo bo ho. Nti say Vena US aba so be ko. And I saw on here, on what take a decision. Then, of course, we are here to bring you what will happen. Now, area say Fati Vazquez. Galina, no, yes, Lami Yama call US or new coach, so kakra. I say me and him say, that not then again you cry. Oh, yes, sir. What sounds so true, Eddie Abba say. Or be so clarify near many gay. I say me die down, ma say me nko. Wa san so ko page I say me san so dia ba. And what try e dey ato no I just saying or say clarification or translate mu say near many be e kwa bontin here wrong. Enti trust us. Enti my translation I'm say okay, e be kan am for say in light of the recent media and again translation where they be oasis to allow. In light of the recent media exposure and the comment that have emerged regarding my connection with this person, of course referring to Lami, I feel the responsibility to clarify a few points to provide context to the situation and stop misinformation that is circulating. Okay, point number one. You say, at no point was it my intention to make this experience public. My personal posts on social media were made after having spent those days with someone I had been speaking with previously. There was never my intention to stir controversy or generate public attention. The magazine photos are from the exact day I arrived on the island, which was Thursday, and my posts were made on Sunday. Point number two, I want to make it clear that I have never had any economic interest in this story. I have been an independent woman since I was 18. I have worked in social media for over 10 years as a content creator, long before this person became public figure. My career is solid, professional, and self-made. Point number three, legally, in Spain, no crime has been committed, and nothing that happened constitutes a pedophilia or is subject to criminal reproach. I find it unnecessary and biased to be labeled as a 30-year-old Galician influencer when I'm not even 30, and my value cannot be summed by a label. I am Fati Vazquez, a content creator, a recognized professional in the digital world for years. It has been implied that if he weren't a public figure, I wouldn't have been interested in him. Oh, my God. But I think it's only fair to say that if I didn't have a trajectory of visibility, I do, he probably wouldn't have been interested in me either. Making it clear that the desire to communicate or see each other came from his side, not mine. We confront Lami Yamal. Point number 5. Okay. Regarding the latest headlines, I like to clarify that they are not 100% accurate. When I say lie, I refer to denying that what is clearly shown in some photos. At no point were my statement directed against anyone. They are simply and plainly in my defense. This statement is not to confront, but to close a chapter with honesty. Well, so this is the statement from Fati Vazquez. Wasan swakwa fa same way asan so baby wa. All church in same no point 4 no na. Very interesting say. Oh no. Kofo keka say I la mean sanka public figure nka get away from no hu nkotwitwi no. O say o YouTube na ono so cast say bi so ono so enyo obi a public figure. Nka la me yama so owu no emfa no nkopie. What I say? I don't say or some super so tell say enyo ono na tata la me yama say omumpie enko hia wa bontin. La me yama no na ton sa friend. And ono so nya na dwen say photos na ba monto say in free no ankofo bi pa chance say e be some creative scenario bi to say ono na wa sheda no ankofo twitwa no dey gi fame no dey gi so say da bi ono start content creating eje din crown na lami ya mala e ba be gidi asemi ya da girl nke ma asemi nde obayama o ma san so akwa drag lami ya mala into this situation again ujafo obro say yes Hendrik Eback you say ne fitness issue no back into no nyame atomu a yes some person mo fly no call US no call joining the rest of the team. So that is the story coming up. Anyway, Nick Vortamendi striker na metaboni di Stuttgart for striker no matters a buy Munchen for in you. Hey buy Munchen for your shabu fast. Hey yes someone na kan kopem the year 2030. Just on my man boy no kwa 20 year and running in there papa o mo wie say Stuttgart for Monica play by Munchi de ka grebe mo no my for play so am say am player no o mo wie bibia ka say o Stuttgart for no be agree on a finger na fe o mo fa no nti Chelsea for target Nick Vortamendi no by Munchi for say o mo for simple Manchester City for enche Ruben Diaz and Rodri no may contract extension inti no more cancel so me I extend your more contract at the Manchester City so that is the conversation also going on. Manchester Chelsea for some media to no much here Dortmund for figure just said Dortmund wants something around 55 million in some media to na fe sika no the amount Dortmund ma fa Jimmy Bino Giddens in terms say Chelsea for say as a deal with it is getting too late anyway. Ronaldo contract our extended at Diama El Nassano. Let's go into the details of the new offer uja for aye any sika uja for beji go the bottom. Say afeno 178 million pounds. Week we are budget 3.4 million a week. Pounds sika ni can want some you. Afei ya to say wait me 15% shares El Nassamo, which they estimate around 33 million pounds. Ronaldo could give 15% to Nasa. Hey, Ronaldo go for a cool my is going to be. So almost 24.5 million as signing on fee, which will increase to 38 million if he activates the second year of his contract. Hey, 80,000 pounds bonus per goal. And of course, it may increase by 20% in the next year. Joshua go be 80,000. Yeah, 40,000 bonus per assist. Hey! Nico'S Vazquez assist via 40,000 pounds. 8 million bonus if El Nassr win the Saudi Pro League. 8 million. So I'm League 1. 4 million bonus if he wins the Saudi Pro League Golden Boots. With the Obesaji pay 4 million. 6.5 million pounds if El Nassr qualify for the Asian Champions League. So 8 million for winning. Now automatically they qualify. But also Obesaji 6.5. Hey. After 16 people working full-time for him, including 3 drivers, 4 housekeepers, 2 chefs, 3 gardeners, 4 security people. Hey, 16 people. Wow. 4 million worth of private jet expenses covered by El Nassr. Into private jet expenses, 4 million. It's a tradia Ronaldo cost. But 4 million pounds. Now, where they two coins are now, 4 million. 60 million worth of sponsorship deals promised by El Nassr with new Saudi companies and companies in Asian market. In the sponsorship alone, no, 60 million pounds. Hey. Ronaldo couldn't go for it. What? Second Wow. And you mean one say Abeto just say Ronaldo, one of the best friends, Pane, Jose Semedo. If you know that girl, that guy. Only Ronaldo announced Yachepa, those days, the crowd no more Sporting Lisbon youth team. In terms of Ronaldo body, pa, town say, only Ronaldo town, pa, mate say, recruitment, or Babe or El Nasano, Semedo, no, and a belly dim, I'm on my side, and to me say, we did the Ronaldo Becana, Uja for me, him. Say, everything indicates, say, Uja for club, and Indiana. Hey! Me can't hear the answer any day, but be some that make us say, say, what is the 2 minute baby? Uja for way pass. Say, Spanish Football Association for no. There can so be technical committee of referees. Don't be your money, okay. Ome yo dinti Medina now be a press conference Ninia Klaus Gomez Robinho Perez oma pamu omunyi na some the new referees association structure na ba for 700 for na e hye trama ya pamu referees no penyi for so ma pamu the new structure eba the Barcelona for na say ti omonti ase ni nyina na say Momo La Liga for na say mo pamu Spanish referees ni nyina na the new structure ba Aday na man de ne man no mo select man referee de moja we san say am say ma me na select man referees for man leagues no ye fa no Yolanda Paga na omu kirem say ne kunu eye Madrid ni te say mpanyifo ni bi inta aday nti na weja sa ma me ne wo ho Now we say, okay, anyway, into Obi Kuni Madrid, then there's also the Madrid in Yana. And they are some great. Barca Madrid, you now La Liga, I don't get them. Why would they? Is it the pressure from Madrid in Tina? Well, anyway, yeah, some more. Also, I can say, Barcelona for no corridors, as you say, Nico'S, why video, crowd atua. Video no ebeda nkofo na sa ebeda Bilbao for na say what kind of story now it's been banded around the sun. Well, there's a picture here Abba looks as someone recorded Nico'S which them say video ni twan say bibia be da na fe we play video no well say no cre say no cre trendy pa say sa no so we call Manchester Valencia 4 person mu bie Master and the moon say Pinifo approve says sika person the same 322 million euros 322 million euros sika almost so Eddie Babe shem na okay no problem. Meanwhile a better che easy Arsenal for interest in a better che easy and yes real Arsenal for near bre person for a better che easy boy nankasa or release clause e want a contract no Crystal Palace release clause near 68 million pounds 68 million pounds inti Arsenal for munya wade na fe munkofe that's say because there is nyamese keka ko edie 68 million pounds inti say Arsenal for make bid na say on be twan na de be bia so of course ba year one semester be brand by winching 4-year training na senior man Arsene Wenger and so e Orlando or training grounds one so e monitor the ekoso training teams about pay e mu ana wa fit training work akra fi football Onyankoya active coach, but sometimes it is what it is. Inti, Papa na that television, so former La Masia 4 player, your fan Juan Gonzalez. Na on the name one and say Oleche, yes, we jive football, but only just 23 years. Yes, say doctors for no, I say our heart issues be kakra. Inti no, on team to us a mobile in Tama, or the Ahomitie. I retire for football. Very sad. Very, very sad. Luis Diaz Tata Liverpool for so no contract extension. No one farmer no obeko free you. Boy nanka so some face can be count Liverpool for so soon your margin so move you. And see me say boy and say massa say I never call there. Or no obeko free you. Let's say the Luis Diaz and say me cry there. Yeah, have you. Well, Lenny Euro any copy menu and pre-season no more and so more chile. Kan we twa gym say mo ye training na we anu ko twa picture bia ba so mo so chile chese nyasam ketwa boys no what we care in say season here start here we say ye hu bibi and of course anyway whether you are sleeping whether you are training start here we expect a best or good performance from you isn't it anyway you have somebody see because we are going to come back again now here the stories for Froho and so Eddie Abro Nyakopon on Shira wo bebre bye bye.